What's up, guys? Taylor Gone here. I'm about to hit my day 8 follow-up training session. Um, Shoulders and triceps. One thing that I want to go over, because I'm going to add in strict press for 3 to 5 sets of 5. Um, two notes. One, I just got to bite the bullet and start working on strict press. It's been one of those lifts where it was really strong when I was a little bit younger, and then had some injuries and was getting away with, I'm sure if you guys have paid attention, I have very good leg drive for, push jerking and dumbbells and stuff like that. So it's been very easy for me to get by, and I've been strong enough to, consistently take top 3 or 4 in pro shows in the pressing events. So I've just been able to slide by without developing it, and I want to start working that back in because if anything, strict pressing just looks really fucking cool. And it also, I noticed the last stone show that I did, the main weakness I had was just my ability to strict press through. That would be so much easier if I could just strict press the first couple reps on stuff like that. So that's going back in. I'm gonna muscle clean and go right into it. I hate taking stuff out of the rack. And since we're starting fresh, this is like the first time in 2 or 3 years that I've put strict press in my program. I'm gonna start at 50% of my projected overhead max, which is 400 pounds. I'm gonna give myself, it's actually like 400 to 420, but we're gonna say 400 because it's such a weak point. It puts me at 200 pounds. So I'm gonna go 170 to 200 for 3 to 5 sets of 5, and then I'm gonna do the same accessory that you saw in the last shoulder and tricep session. And the point that I want to make with that is that I've been, you don't want to. How do I want to say this? I'm not just when I get back, what you just saw, I got done with all those competitions, and I'm starting brand new. I'm starting over. You guys have seen the pre, in between, off season phase into now I'm starting my off season phase. And not only are we ramping up weights, nice and slowly like that, we're also ramping up volume. And this is one way to do that, where in my head I was like, okay, I don't feel like strict pressing. Deadlifting, conventional deadlift, heavy squats. There were certain things where the first day I got to the gym, I was like, nah, fuck that. That does not feel right in my body right now. So strict pressing has been the last thing that I've waited to add in. It's gone hang snatch every week, and then I added in the axle, and then I've added in more volume and intensity to the accessories, and now I'm adding in the strict press as volume. So, it's you really want to stick with the minimal effective dose to cause progress. I've talked a little bit about this before, like with choosing variations and stuff, of doing things to allow you to train more sessions in a row safely without getting beat up or hurt. It's the same thing with adding in intensities and extra work and volume. Like, you don't want to go in and just fucking blow your dick off on volume the first week back off a program, because you could take 3 or 4 weeks and ramp that up into full volume, and you get the progress from those 4 weeks, and you've also built a more sustainable trajectory to continue on progressing. So it's very important with weightlifting, just, as little as possible to cause progression is what we're wanting to go for here. So I'm gonna just get right to strict pressing, and then we'll go on to accessories. 165. Like I said, my range is 170-ish to 200. And just to build off the note of the least amount of shit to progress as possible, I always want to check myself when I have a weight range prescribed, or if I prescribe an athlete a weight range, I really want them to earn their way into that weight range. And we're not taking those top numbers unless you know for sure that that's what's fucking hitting today. So in a situation like this, I'm gonna take my first set of 5 here. I'm gonna plan to do a full 5x5 because I know this will probably be pretty light, but I'll count this as the first working set and I'll build and probably go 165, 185, and 3 sets at 200. That's probably how it's gonna go. I don't know, we'll see how it feels. But again, I can't emphasize this enough. Take the small ends, take the lower end of the range. You know, there's no shame in that. Another thing on that note is my accessories today. Since I added this in, if I just match my accessories from last week, you know, even if I didn't add this in, you can still beat it on quality. But let's say I just do the same amount of quality and I match my accessories perfectly from last week. That's better. I did better because I have this front loaded in front of it. So what I'm trying to demonstrate here is just proper analyzation of your training and of your progress. There's lots of ways to distort this, and there's lots of ways to look at how shitty you are. And I'm just trying to show the more positive light and how you should properly analyze your training and your current state of progress. So, oh. That was 185. I'm gonna stay right there for 2 or 3 more sets, and that'll be my starting point. This will be a fun one because I'm really gonna take this one slow and build it properly, like a lift from right from scratch should be built. So you'll get to see all the progress on that. That'll be pretty cool. My best is I did a 300-pound log strict out of the rack, and I've done 285 for 2 out of the rack on a barbell. And, you know, when I started those training cycles, it was like 135 for a 5x5. So this is a really good starting point. It seems very light for someone who should be able to press 400 pounds overhead. But really taking the steps to develop this properly, you know, 16 to 20 weeks from now, I'm gonna be putting up some fucking, at least some PRs, but hopefully some pretty impressive weights. The main cue I'm thinking about here that I've been missing is I'm trying to watch the bar a little bit further up before I peek my head through. I've been really struggling with trying to peek my head through because that's what I would do like on a jerk or something. So since it's a slower movement, I've got to slow that sequence down. So now you'll notice I'm gonna watch the bar until it hits my, you know, kind of hits my triceps. And then we'll start thinking about peeking through. There. I'm actually gonna take weight off for that. Go back down to 165. So that'll be 165, 185, 185, 165. That'll be my start point. And that is okay. It doesn't matter that I projected 200 pounds as 50%. You have to take into account a couple percent for it being your weakest variation out of all the variations. So perfectly happy with this, we're gonna let it ride. My press can only get better. It's already fucking competitive in the open class at pro shows. So I don't give a shit. It's just gonna get better. Last set. All right, guys. I'm gonna start with delt raises, just like I did last week. We've got laterals, fronts, rears, and then 2 tricep movements, and then rotator cuffs. I'm gonna do the same style that I did last week, where I burn out on 2 sets at those 15s, really focusing on the tempo. I'm gonna get myself fucked up before I start my working sets. Because I wanna grow, so I don't know. Yeah, we'll do these burnouts, front load some fatigue, and then we'll just see how, now that we got some new dumbbells. Before I only had up to 25s and then they went to 60s. Now we got 25s, 40s, 45s, 50s, 55s, 60s. So now we've got some more options to go heavy with. Remember, shoulders back, pinkies finished higher. I'm rotating my hand with the weight. See you, buddy. Have a good night. Yeah, I'll turn it off. Okay. Oh, okay. Keep going. A few more. take a good rest, get some water in me, and then we'll take the 25s for 6 to 8 reps, and then I really want to see what I can do with the 40 pounders. Want to grow. There's 6. These are feeling heavy today. I'm gonna do a straight set with the 40s. And then probably my second set, I'm gonna do drop downs from 40, 25, 15. Get that set up. But I'm gonna see how much I can do straight with the 40s. Hopefully we can get 2 or 3 sets in. Yeah, we'll see. I'm pretty tired today. I have to pay attention to this for, it seems surprisingly enough that the hang snatch day is way more fatigue on my shoulders than the heavy axle clean and press, but it was a lot more volume, it's a lot more technical lift, it's a lot more range of motion on the lift, and I don't know, I guess just something to take into account for the future. I guess the axle really wasn't that heavy relatively. Well, those are not good reps. I'm not doing it. Oh, not good at all. Oh. Oh, that hurt. Why did that hurt my fucking back? Oh. Because I flared out like a fucking idiot. Whew. Well, now we know. All right, 25s. Oh. Oh, here we go. Holy shit. Well, I guess I'm glad I caught that on camera because I don't know, I've never had that happen before, but it really seemed like I flared out like this and almost kind of like, reverted back into some old habits. Just really like, there was like a shock down in my low back through the hips. It's really tender and feels very prone to getting worse right now. So I am going to drop the weight. Unfortunately, I'm going to do leaning, we'll at least try, and then, if I can do, yeah, I should be able to get myself out of this. The thing that I want to point out here is I'm really glad that this happened actually, because the way that I feel is like my back popped and I had one of those tweaks where it's like getting some tingles in my tailbone and into my legs a little bit, and I don't want to just stop and relax, but I don't want to train through something. I really just kind of want to like continue good quality movement and see if I can work my way out of it a little bit, but I'm not gonna panic. I'm not gonna fucking do anything. I'm just gonna adjust the plan and go from there. But we're gonna try these. Ooh, yeah, baby. Like this. Feels a lot better on the shoulder. I was too ambitious with the weights, so don't do that. I'm already feeling some decompression and some small pops through the ribs and through the low back. So I didn't think it was something to be worried about in the first place. But a lot of times, especially the first couple times you pop your low back and tweak it, it can be really scary, and you can overstretch and over try to pop it to get out of it. And the best thing to do is just relax and just try to have good fluid quality movement. And there's a lot to be said for freaking yourself out mentally. That can tighten you right up and make things worse. So yeah, we're just gonna show you how to work through this. This is a blessing that this happened, because now I get to show you kind of how to work out of some of this back pain. But that sensation of it needing to pop, just relax and move through it, and it will eventually pop on its own. If you continue to try to pop it, you're just going to irritate it and inflame things, get it more stuck, and it's going to take longer and longer to work out. So I know a lot of you have felt that. Notice my breathing. I don't know if you can hear it through the microphone, but I'm really focusing on passive breathing right now. All right. All right. We'll do some front raises. We'll do some rears, and try. Remember our cues here. Pinkies end higher, and we want to come past, right, on the, we want to come past to stretch that front delt, pec tie in. Do one more set there, work up to the 15s. Feel pretty good there. I'm gonna bring the intensity that I wanted for this workout down a little bit. Just gonna kind of show you just how to change the pace on things when something minor comes up. You want to pay attention to it, but you don't want to freak out about it, you know? So we're just gonna do a light pump on everything. And I feel I got sufficient work in yesterday with those snatches. This is just the icing on top. But you want as much fucking icing as possible, usually. But if you can just get a little bit of icing, it's still fucking cake. Still gonna eat it. So. See, it's no big deal. Just move. Just move. Get through it. It's okay. It's okay to hurt a little bit. Whew. One thing I want to touch on, since I'm in this predicament, there's a lot of people out there that think they're injured when they're actually just hurt. And they make it out to be worse than it actually is, or they play into the pain, like I said, and they keep trying to pop shit or fix shit, and they're not doing it the right way, or they're like overdoing something, or they're just flat out mentally weak and they're just like, oh, that's pain, that's bad, I shouldn't do that. No. There's being hurt and there's being injured. If you have pain associated with an injury, or you are injured, you can't train. If you're hurt, you can train. I am hurt right now. I can train. Just because it's in the low back, just because it feels like a disc, or just because it's this or that, like, it's just pain. I'm not fucking hurt. I did not fucking actually hurt myself with 40-pound dumbbells, right? That doesn't happen. Maybe if that happened under 700-pound deadlift, probably a little bit of a different story, but still probably just hurt, right? So I just want to make that very clear. And I'm not calling anyone a pussy. This is a hard skill to learn, and it takes a lot of time, and it takes a lot of fucking yourself up and getting out of it. Or it takes a lot of really good mentorship to guide you to this point. But yeah, the main point I want to drive home here is hurt, injured. Most of the time, y'all are over here. You're just a little hurt, and that's okay. All right? So I don't know that there's any point in filming the rest of this. I'm just gonna hit some low intensity tricep pump, hit my rotator cuffs, one more set of this and get out of here. So I'm gonna wrap the video up because that turned into a pretty good lesson there. And I'll try to remember to record. So Dave, the physical therapist, anytime you hear me say Dave, I'm talking about the physio guy. He's given me some homework to do every day until I see him on Tuesday next week. So it's only like 3 to 5 minutes of breath work, but I'll start throwing those up in this little YouTube series that I'm doing as well. So we'll have, you know, the talking videos before, we'll have the training session, and then I'll just document all my breath work that I'm doing for Dave. So we'll do that tonight, and it will help, because where I'm injured is where I was deficient in my assessment yesterday, 2 days ago. So this lower portion of my brace where I'm trying to push down into the hip, into the pelvic floor, this side specifically, I don't expand very well into this. It's causing some discomfort up here. It's causing some discomfort back here and through here. So I'm gonna work on that stuff tonight, address all that. And this is where I'm hurt currently. So I imagine a lot of the reason why that happened is because I'm doing things and because I'm finally starting to address some things that have been there for so long. So a lot of times what can happen, if I just do one fucking rep and it goes back, it kind of encourages those old neurological pathways. I can kind of just get stuck like this. Like I was probably like this before I went and saw Dave, and then he unfucked me a little bit and I was standing better and had better posture, but I wasn't in pain before going into him, right? But then I get done with him and I feel relief. So there was some discomfort, but I was so used to it that I don't feel it. Now with this immediate snap back into position, that's probably all that I'm feeling. So, you know, we're gonna go home, address things, and no big deal. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you have any questions on injuries or anything training related.